Tanya Burr is part of the British YouTube group that was popular in like 2013, 2014, you know, Zoella, Alfie Days, all of that lot. But the thing they have in common now is that they are bordering on irrelevant because they just aren't popular anymore. You know, the people that used to watch them and follow them religiously are now sort of my age and are like, oh, don't really want to see the same video every 3 weeks, so I've moved on to different content. We've all grown up, and you know, their content needed to change if they were going to stay important. Pre-YouTube, Tanya Burr was a makeup artist. She had the support of her now husband's sisters, Pixie Woo, still on YouTube, still doing makeup, and she was a MAC makeup artist, I believe, and so she started her YouTube channel as a way of expanding her content and ways to produce content, and it was all makeup based. 9 years ago when she started making content, they were all makeup videos. However, staying in one lane does not make you the big bucks for very long, as Tanya found out. Just as Tanya's bestie, Zoella, was starting to take off and starting to get, you know, mainstream attention, brand deals, all of that sort of thing, Tanya thought, oh, let's get in on that a bit, you know, let's follow in the footsteps, get some money, and so she had a book deal. It's totally not uncommon for YouTubers to jump on the bandwagon, get a book deal. There was a time of YouTube where everybody was writing a book, you know, whether they could actually write or not didn't really matter because there's ghostwriters. It's not really that surprising that she jumped on the bandwagon and wrote a book herself. Except she didn't quite write it herself because, of course, it was ghostwritten just like Zoe's. And they were made by the same publisher, so that is even less surprising. Now, I personally didn't have a problem with Tanya's first book. I bought it myself. You know, it was that sort of time where I was into that sort of thing. Love, Tanya it felt like it was written by her. Obviously, I know it was ghostwritten, but she obviously did have some input in it, and that's fine, you know. Make your money, get the bread. One part of Tanya's book that did stir up particular attention was her baking section, where she gave out recipes for cakes that had made appearances in her videos, in her life, that sort of thing. And people were buying the book just to get the recipes, and she thought, oh, I can make a bit more money here if I made a book purely on baking. So after she realised she could get a bit more success and a bit more money from baking, her channel turned to being purely baking videos. She was pushing and pushing and pushing. She appeared on television as a chef or a baker or whatever she thought she was at that point. Her videos went from makeup to baking as if that is a natural segue in anybody's world. Like, just because you can paint a face doesn't mean you're good at baking. And she is qualified to be giving out makeup advice because she's a makeup artist, but she isn't a baker. Like, she is not Mary Berry. She is just like any of us that can follow a recipe. It's not, I mean, if you want to follow her recipes, that's fine, but I highly doubt she made up that recipe on her own. It was probably recycled from somewhere else, which is sort of like ghostwriting, but even worse. It looks like she's just jumping on any sort of bandwagon that she can, following any sort of success that she can gain in order to pay the bills, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. She is using her following just to get money. It isn't about what she loves or anything like that anymore, is it? Because if she had loved baking originally, surely she would have made a baking channel, or it would have played a bigger part in her channel originally, but it was purely makeup because that is what she is, a makeup artist. When Tanya Bakes came out, the publisher, Penguin, the same as Zoe's book, said that it was following the phenomenally successful Love, Tanya, and I just think we should fact check that real quick. Love, Tanya peaked at number 5 on the top 50, which isn't bad, but I would not say that's phenomenal success. You know, Zoella's book got way higher than that, and that was phenomenally successful. Maybe number 5 is phenomenally successful for a book you didn't write, you just slapped your name on and it literally sold just because it's got your face on it. Love, Tanya didn't reach the same heights as Zoella's Girl Online, and so it sort of seems like she came out with Tanya Bakes to be like, this time I'm really gonna beat her, but again, it did not garner the same commercial success that she was probably hoping for and that her publishers were hoping for by signing on this non-author to write a book about something she doesn't really know about just to sell it because it's got her face on it. Another way that Tanya has followed in exactly the same footsteps as Zoe is a makeup line. She had Tanya Burr Cosmetics that was released into Superdrug, just like Zoella's beauty line. It does sort of seem like Tanya watches Zoe do something, Tanya does what Zoe does, but not quite as well, if that makes sense. It does seem like Tanya sees Zoe do something, then Tanya does what Zoe does. Monkey see, monkey do, you know? At least makeup is her original passion. It's not some weird thing she's plucked out of her arse. Unfortunately, her makeup line did not have the lasting power that she had perhaps hoped for, and that's probably down to the amount of effort that she put into it. In May 2018, she tweeted saying, big things are coming, but, you know, we're still waiting for that. They're not even available on the Superdrug website anymore, and on Feel Unique they are extremely discounted. Somebody even tweeted her in 2018 after she said that big things were coming, that they saw a lipstick of hers on sale for 49p. So I guess that's sort of telling as to how that business endeavour is going for her. If we draw that in direct comparison with Zoella's makeup line, obviously Zoella is still making new products, they are selling out, they have gift ranges, they have all of that, and people are willing to put in the effort, she's got the people behind her. However, Tanya, it just sort of fizzled out and nobody sort of put the effort in, which is, you know, you get out what you put in. So the books didn't work, the makeup didn't work, we need something else, because YouTube, obviously, you can't stay on YouTube, that would be ridiculous. And so what is Tanya Burr's new endeavour? It's acting. Her being an actor has really rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way, because she's shown no interest in being an actor at any point. She has had no training in acting, and I'm not saying you need to have, you know, an acting degree, but surely if your passion, your life's passion was to be an actor, you would have pursued it before the age of what, like 25, 26 when she's doing it. She's been given a lot of opportunities in the acting world, and I mean, why? It's purely because she is who she is. Companies think that they can get a bit of money because they're going to slap her face on a play and people are going to go because she's got 3 million, you know, impressionable followers that are going to come and watch her. However, that did not quite go to plan for the Confidence play. The play that she was in, where she had a starring role, Confidence, didn't really go as planned. I get what the company was trying to do. They were trying to get a smaller younger audience, try and get her in because she's got all of these impressionable followers. Of course, they're just going to buy a ticket and come see her. She really did, you know, rally that hard for people to come and watch. However, they didn't even sell out, I don't think, at any point. The reviews for this were not good. She was cast because of who she is, not because of how good she is, not on merit. And there probably were smaller actors who were better suited for the role, but Tanya Burr is now an actor, so she does not give up though, Tanya Burr, I will give her that. So she's still trying to pursue this acting career. She just spends a lot of time in America trying to get roles and reading for scripts and stuff. I haven't seen anything else that she's coming out with, but she is now bestie with Scarlett Curtis. In case you didn't know, Scarlett Curtis, author of Feminists Don't Wear Pink and Other Lies, is the daughter of Richard Curtis. And again, in case you didn't know, Richard Curtis is the brain behind movies such as Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Notting Hill, all of the Bridget Joneses, Love Actually. Any movie that basically has Hugh Grant in it will probably have been written or directed or both by Richard Curtis. He is a bigwig in the movie industry. I mean, I don't want to start any rumours, but it does seem a bit sus that suddenly, as soon as she wants to be an actress, she's best friends with a girl whose dad is like quite powerful in the movie industry in the UK. Like, I mean, that doesn't sound coincidental to me. At this point, Tanya Burr has jumped from project to project to project. She's followed a bandwagon, she's jumped on it with full force and then decided she doesn't really give a shit halfway through because she hasn't stuck to what she really believes in, and in my opinion that should be makeup because that's what she started with. People can make a lot of money off of YouTube, they can get a lot of commercial success, like all the ads, and then you can change over into the mainstream media, but she jumped too soon. I think she hasn't built up a solid following now. Her subscribers are dropping massively every single day and people aren't watching her videos because she's not a YouTuber anymore. She doesn't want to be a YouTuber, you know, her Instagram now says she's an actress, but is she? I mean, what is she doing? Because now she's sort of in a limbo. Is she a YouTuber? Is she an actor? Is she a baker? Is she a makeup artist? Nobody knows. And that sort of inconsistency is not what builds up a fan base. And me as a follower, I would rather if she stayed in one discipline and really worked on it, and then she would build up more sort of consistent fans and that sort of thing. That's where you're going to make the big money if that's what she's interested in. Tanya probably jumped off of the YouTube train a bit too early because, you know, now people are making massive success on YouTube on their own and then they can change over into the mainstream media. So it sort of looks like, I don't want to say this is what happened because I don't want to get, you know, sued, but it looks like she jumped across into mainstream media because she wanted the money, she got greedy, she saw an opportunity and she took it, but it didn't really pay off for her. So now we're sort of not sure what's going on with her. She's not a YouTuber, she's an actor. I really look forward to seeing what Tanya does next. I mean, maybe she'll decide she wants to be a Formula 1 racing driver, or, you know, she's going to be an Olympic athlete. I don't know what she's going to pick because it literally could be anything. Just jump into another career as if it doesn't take work and time and, you know, energy. But if you're famous, you can do whatever you want.